Alright, so I'm here today to give a kind of like a brief overview of Dust Tactics. I know there's a lot of tabletop games out there, a lot of board games, and that people are interested in. This kind of merges the two. I've always been kind of interested in Warhammer, but really never wanted to sit down and have to go through the measurements and my wizard can kill your wizard type of thing. I'm more of a, I like World War II, I like war games. So I saw some other ones out there like Flame of War and those type of games. I know they've been around for a long time, but Dust Tactics really caught my eye because it's like a board game and tabletop together with miniatures, but you play it a lot quicker, or you play quicker, measurements and movements and which way you're aiming. It doesn't take into those. You use a grid, you move around, and you go and you play the game. So bear with me here. I'm going to give a little quick overview of what Dust Tactics is, how we play it. I've been playing it for a couple months now. I love the game. I am addicted to it. It is great. I got into painting miniatures. I've never done any tabletoping, and this game has allowed me to break into that market, and I really like it. So I hope you enjoy my little overview here. And again, I'm doing this by myself, so here it is. Here's Dust Tactics. So this is the latest expansion. It's called Operation Cerberus, and it's pretty cool because it gives you some 3D buildings. Of course, again, you Warhammer or other tabletop players are used to having 3D buildings and all that. But here's the board. It comes in these tiles. It's 3x3 tiles. This is the biggest board that you can make right now. You can make bigger boards if you want, but with the scenarios, this is the biggest board. Just came out last week, and it came with Operation Cerberus, like I said. What's nice about it is that it brings the 3D buildings. You get one building with it, and the building is a 3-story building that you can make 2 buildings out of. So I'll show you here. Those are the 2 buildings, and bear with me. Here's the top of the last building. All these pieces come apart. They all come in. I'll show you that this goes right on top here. It's pretty nice. So I'm just gonna set it there, but it snaps in, and you can have up to 3 stories with one building. It's got these floors that you put in there. It's really cool. It adds a whole new dimension to the game, literally. And obviously I painted these ones. They just come regular plastic, and I just kind of did some quick wash and painted them. But this is the biggest board. Like I said, it's a 4x6 tiles. What I do, actually, tiles are cardboard. They're not bad. They're pretty nice, but I put a plexiglass on top. And one thing I do is I get the 48 by 36 inch plexiglass, because what that does, it allows you to split it in half right here, and so that way you can have 2 boards for a head-to-head play. It's really nice. These are the outdoor tiles. You flip them over and they have like an indoor texture to them, so it's really cool. You can play indoors or outdoors. You flip them around. The little squares you see are walls. Those block line of sights. Line of sight is done by connecting the dots. You just connect the dots. This is what I'm saying about the easiness of playing. I like it. It's more board games than measuring and oh, you're 6 inches away, I can't hit you. Everything's done by line of sight and dots and squares. So if you get a range of 4 in a straight line, you can hit in 4 diagonally. There's some other stuff. What I like to use is we use a laser pointer. It's pretty cool. You can get nice line of shots from here, especially long distance across boards. You can see that the laser pointer goes right across there, and you can pick up line of sights that are, some of them are questionable, and boom, you see that that one's perfect right on him. The miniatures you get, this one's an artillery one. It's probably my best painted one, so that's why I'm using an example. This is a walker. It's futuristic, World War II. So, they have, instead of tanks, they have walkers. Everything else is, pretty straightforward. There is some other kind of futuristic stuff to it, but it's a World War II game. Another thing I like to use, we use these dice boxes. This is an actual game. It's called Dice in a Box, I think. I get it off of Amazon. What's nice about it is that you can keep track of all the rounds on here. You're supposed to be playing a game, but that's every time we roll for a new round, you just throw one down, keep track of the rounds, so that's pretty cool. We actually use the dice for, like, if you're gonna blow up like a tank trap. These are like hit points on the unit here. Some other things, these are the books for the expansion. This comes with the original one, but every book has like a story to it for each expansion. The core set comes with Operation Blue Thunder, and so does the tile pack, which gives you just more tiles, some bridges and water and stuff like that. So the tile pack's really useful. You can get the tiles, but the in the revised, I guess revised core set, you get 2 maps in there that are like posters, paper posters, and they give you the bridges and all that. But really, the tile pack, if you buy that, gives you the exact same tiles that are the posters in that game. And then the core set, you get the original tiles. I'm not going to go into detail about that. I'm just kind of going through and showing you some things. Again, they come in these type of boxes. Those are expansion, those are units. Let's go over here. I showed you 3D buildings. Here's another little tip. These are called card holders. Get these on Amazon for like $8, $8 to $10. What's nice is that they hold your unit cards. Dust Tactics uses these unit cards that have movements and health points and weapon lines and special abilities. What we do is we put them in these card holders, and then when we activate them, we flip them over so we know, boom, they've been activated this round. Keeps everything organized, and the other player can see what you've activated already. So that's nice. Another quick little tip, these trees right here, I get these at Hobby Lobby. They're actually $1 for 3, which is pretty cheap because the model, the really detailed model trees are like $9 for like maybe 4 or 5. These are $1 for 3. I glued them to the actual walls of those. Here I use some Warhammer troop carriers, but that one I glued it straight to the walls, and those give you soft cover in the game. There's soft cover and hard cover. I'm not going to go into any of those details. Just kind of browsing through what you get with the game. Again, here's Operation Cerberus. You saw it on my iPad before, but here's the actual book. They got a nice little story. They talk about all the guys that are part of the game. You kind of see some of the artwork. So very good background. Then they go through the new skills that came out with the new expansion. All the new skills, the new movements for the heavy walkers you see. The guys are the same scale as Warhammer or any other one. But as you can see, the mechs are huge compared to them. And then we thought he was big until just last week these came out. These are heavy walkers, and these are ridiculous. They're awesome. They cost a lot, obviously, in points when you put them out. That's how you build your armies. You get these points on each card, put them together, just like Warhammer. Or any of the other ones. Here's some of the troops. I haven't painted them all. I'll show you some that I painted. Just kind of working on that. We've been playing so much, I haven't even got a chance to paint any of the other ones. Those are the bigger troops. This base coats on those. They do got some off things, like these are zombies. That kind of threw me off at first, but they're supposed to be Nazi zombies, I guess. So, and here's gorillas. Those are about the only 2 units that are pretty crazy that, they're not humans, not aliens, but, come on, zombies. What are they going to come out with next? Vampires, for the allies, but they work out. They're actually, everybody uses them. Another little tip is I started before they had 3D buildings. I bought the Warhammer. Kind of doesn't fit in with the game, But what's nice is if you actually do a 4x4 with the Warhammers, they actually fit perfectly in the squares. So that's just a little tip if you do buy these buildings. A 4x4 works, 4x3 does not, which is another building that I bought. It was just a 3 layer, but as you can see they fit perfectly right in the square. I'm just throwing these tips out because, you know, there's not much out there right now on Dust Tactics. This is the revised core set rulebook. They have a bunch of FAQs you can download too. But again, it's a quick little 11-minute video of Dust Tactics. This is the big board. Before I finish here, I just want to talk about this. This is awesome. We've been playing 4 players, but kind of doing it our own way. Now they threw in a 4-player game. And just to tell you how this one works, it's kind of cool. The scenario is by the 8th round, you keep track of rounds right there. By the 8th round, however many players you have, so this guy right here, however many units he has in the adjacent rectangle, that's your victory points by the 8th round. So it really forces the battle to go to the middle of the board, which is really nice because we've been wondering how to play 4 players. We're trying to make it even. So this player has to go across there, and obviously that other player has to come back this way, and then this player has to go across over there. And by the 8th round you count how many unit victory points, which is down here on the bottom. That's how you build your armies. Again, try to get a quick little video. Armor 4, he can move 1, he's got 4 health points. Those are weapon lines, and like charge and self-charge are special abilities you gotta look up. Very cool. These are, you can write on them with a marker, keep track of health points. You just take an erasable marker, you mark it off right there. It's pretty nice how they do that, so you keep track of all that stuff. Again, that's Dust Tactics, and that's some of my tips. I almost finished it again, but I'll give you a little extra stuff to show you what's in some of the expansions. Each one's different. One of them came out and they gave you books. They gave you buildings. They're building tiles. I'll show you those. These are the building tiles that you can put out. They're not 3D buildings. Those just came out this month, but they give you a little building with doors and all that. There's another expansion set that gives you a submarine. Actually, this right here is a boat, and what this is, there's scenarios where you debark onto the board and you play out the scenarios. It's very cool how they have the scenarios. You play out like a story. You set up the boards. They'll tell you the objectives. So I'll show you. That's an Operation Cyclone. Again, here's a new guy. So here you go. That's a good example. That's a scenario. Attackers, defenders, and then there's objectives and missions and all that. What you have to do for this board. And then they come in, attack. You gotta go down the elevator. Now you're in the indoor stuff. And then once you get indoors, then boom, there's like a submarine that you get. And as you can see on the back of the tiles, a submarine. So you just play through the story with these tiles. Then the next expansion gave you all the building tiles. So very nice. I know I've cut it off like 3 times now. Let's see, what else can I show you. I print out all the cards on paper, set them down, and what's nice is, my opponent's going to set all his troops down there, and so that's what I have over here. So that way when you take the card, you got where the card goes back at, which is really nice for organization wise. We got some tank traps and stuff that you use. That is, I think, it this time. I think third time will be a charm. I'll leave you at the close-up of the building and the mech, or the walker as they call them. To show you a little bit more detail of what you get with one. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this, and play Dust Tactics. Great game. Over and out.